those things should really help the crypto industry. Those things should really push people to want, the inflation should push people to want to hold a limited supply asset.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have the CEO of Binance, CZ, talking about his plans for the current bear market. CZ says that many companies in this broad sector expect that the bull markets will continue indefinitely, which just isn't possible. He tells fellow industry players that now is the best time to begin hiring talent, and there are less companies competing with offers of extremely high salaries. CZ is looking to invest in additional bear markets as there is more consolidation, and the person left standing with cash and a good business will be able to benefit the most. Let's watch this interview with CZ as he gives advice to retail investors on how to profit during a bear market. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
This is not the first time we've been through this one of these things. And we, even in the bull markets, we have always had the mentality that Bitcoin can go 80% down over a period of time. And it may last for, months or years. So we're okay, yeah.
What did you guys do differently? Because some crypto companies, I'd call them crypto banks maybe, are not faring so well. What was different about the positioning of Binance going into this?
I think fundamentally, many companies, when we're in the bull market, many companies just sort of expected that the bull market will continue indefinitely. Markets don't do that. Market go bull, bear, just goes in cycles. So we understood that, and we just held a fairly large amount of cash reserves during the bull markets. And luckily also for us, our income comes into different cryptocurrencies, and stablecoin is one of those, stablecoins accounts to about 25% to 30% of our income. So we're relying heavily on that now. So yeah, I think overall just because we're in a new industry, we are quite expectant of the cycles. So just having that mindset really helps, I think. Now it's actually the best time to hire talent. So there's much more talent available in the pool now. And also we have less other companies competing for the same talent with ridiculous salaries, compensation, etc. that didn't make sense. I mean, a year ago, if a university grad out of college, if they knew Solidity programming, they can get an offer for $500,000 a year. I mean, I think that's kind of, that's a bit overboard, to be honest. So now we're seeing much more reasonable situations in the industry. We're looking at investing more. In bear markets, there will be more consolidation. And the guys who have cash and the guys who are left standing, who have very strong business models and strong product will benefit.
CZ advises retail investors to be sure to have enough money to maintain their current lifestyle, and if they have sufficient funds, to buy. CZ says to only focus on a small number of well-known projects that you're willing to take risk on. He adds that it's impossible to know if the market will go down further or back up, but he knows that because more apps are being developed and more people are coming into the market, the crypto industry is here to stay. CZ notes that the war and the current inflation should help the crypto industry. Inflation pushes people to hold on to limited supply assets, and the more the world is divided, the better that Bitcoin, as global currency, sounds.
When the next bull market comes, we're in a very good position to take advantage of that. And then the investments, M&As, are all tied to that. For retail investors, the first thing, of course, is to survive. So make sure that you have enough money that your lifestyle is not impacted. The second thing, if you have extra money, now is actually not a bad time. Well, different people use different strategies. I don't want to recommend any specific strategy, but some people like, micro seller, El Salvador, they're buying now so that the average cost actually comes down. And if they can last for a few, through this bear market, on the next bull market, they'll have more holdings. So now it's actually a very cheap time to buy. If we're in a bear market. I want to be careful giving financial advices, not giving financial advices. So, but for retail investors, it's the same. Focus on, my advice is always the same. Focus on a small number of projects that you know well. And if you know that the project is going to survive, and you can tolerate the risk, by all means. But understand that tomorrow the market may go down even further. It may go up, it may go down. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But longer term horizon, the industry is staying. The industry is not going away. It's very hard to predict the future, but historically we've seen very accurate 4-year cycles. But there's also many things in the world that are 4 years. The Bitcoin halving is every 4 years. The United President's election is every 4 years. The stock market goes through a 4-year cycle as well, if you look at it historically. So it doesn't mean that the next cycle will be exactly 4 years, but I think there's a pretty decent probability that that might happen. But if we look at all the other different things that you just mentioned, that you said are different, the inflation, the war, everything else, those things should really help the crypto industry. Those things should really push people to want, the inflation should push people to want to hold a limited supply asset. So the war and the more the world is divided, the more that the Bitcoin is a very global currency that actually shines. So the more those issues happen, the more people should need, well, the advantages of crypto blockchain is actually more clear. So yeah, to be honest, to be very frank, I was kind of surprised that Bitcoin only made an all-time high at 68,000. I thought it was going to go much higher, but again, I was wrong. So I'm never good at predictions, but all of those things in theory should help crypto. They're very clear, very simple business models. You should have revenue, and because we're dealing with crypto money, we're dealing with this industry. It's actually not difficult for good businesses to make money. So I think just sustainability-wise, many businesses in this industry can sustain for a very, very long time. So I'm not too worried about it. Today, I think the burn is actually a very small part of the BNB ecosystem value. I think BNB's most value actually is derived from the DeFi world today. There are so many different use cases that people can use BNB for. And there's BNB staking on PancakeSwap. There's Venus, which is a stable coin. And there's many different things that people can also use BNB to buy airline tickets, even coffee, etc. There's the Binance card. People can use BNB to pay for things. So I think the burn is only a small part of it now. At the beginning, the burn may be the burn may be a big part of it. And we have since changed the burn protocol to depend more on the activities on the BNB chain instead of revenues from Binance, etc. So that change was adopted. So today, I think BNB is, and including Bitcoin, etc. They're much dependent on utility value, what people use it for. If there are use cases for it, then it has value. So I think this is different from like traditional stocks or securities where it depends on a company's revenue. BNB is way, I think BNB is way beyond that now. In the decentralized world, well, first of all, decentralization, centralization is not black and white. It's not one or the other. There's a spectrum of different, number one is a spectrum if we look at any particular aspect, and there's multiple aspects we gotta look at. So each one of them is a gradient scale. And so, for example, if we look at any cryptocurrency or blockchain, Bitcoin, I do think is by far the most decentralized blockchain, cryptocurrency, etc. But if you look at Bitcoin mining, it's quite centralized. Like, the top two miners top 2 or 3 mining pools will control more than 51% of the mining power. If you look at Ethereum or BNB chain, you can still associate a founder with those 2 blockchains and many other blockchains. So Ethereum, in that sense, if Vitalik suggests some changes, most likely the community will go with his suggestion. For BNB, myself, we can still identify that, even though I'm less technical, much less technical than Vitalik. But if I suggest something, the community most likely will support it. So that's centralization as well. So Ethereum and BNB having the identifiable founder is actually a less decentralized mechanism. We probably do have the largest user base in crypto now. And also we probably hold custody of the largest funds of any single platform in crypto today.
CZ says that during this time, it isn't hard for quality businesses to make money. Many businesses in the crypto industry can be sustained for an extremely long time. CZ states that the burn is now a very small part of BNB, and it gets its value from today's DeFi society. There are now many use cases for BNB, such as using it to buy airline tickets and even coffee. He says that BNB is now beyond conventional stocks and securities, whose weight depends on a company's revenue. CZ continues by saying that Binance.com is a very centralized digital coin exchange. They have the largest crypto user base and have control of the largest cyber currency funds on any platform. CZ adds that Binance's goal shouldn't be complete decentralization or centralization, but giving people freedom, low fees, and convenience. What do you guys think of CZ's take on the current economic framework for crypto? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.